You're currently standing in the Commonwealth Watch Center. Commonwealth Watch Center is the area that we use to maintain situational awareness of all the Massachusetts State Police operations that are currently occurring in real time across the Commonwealth. So today, my name is Colonel Chris Mason. I'm with the Massachusetts State Police. I'll be joined today with President Corey Mackey from the State Police Association of Massachusetts, and then also present in the room today is Detective Lieutenant Carl Brenner, who is the Fleet Administrator for the Massachusetts State Police. And so they'll be available when we get to the Q&A section, and if you have any questions. So today, my intent is to invite you in and to discuss the department's expansion and enhancement of our AVL system. AVL is the acronym for Automated Vehicle Location. That's a system that essentially relies on a GPS transmitter that's embedded into the cruiser, and that transmitter obviously transmits time and location data, but also this system will enhance that and transmit some vehicle telematics in addition to time and location data. So going back in time, the department identified a need to manage the health of our fleet assets to efficiently and effectively through the collection of vehicle telematics such as fuel usage, mileage, battery life, engine fault codes. And so this system is designed to bring all that in and allow fleet administrators to have access to that data and to more efficiently manage our fleet. There was also a desire to increase operational and situational awareness to allow for real-time command and control of departmental resources. Knowledge of those resources is important because it improves officer and public safety. It also improves our operational efficiency, and it provides the department with an efficient and dependable manner to enforce work rules. So this effort began back in May of 2018. At that time, we engaged with a different vendor than the one we have now, and we implemented AVL for the Massachusetts State Police fleet. We were able to AVL approximately just a little over 1,000 vehicles in our fleet at that time. Those were predominantly marked cruisers within the Division of Field Services that acquired the AVL technology. That implementation relied on a laptop-based system. That system had various limitations to it. One of the limitations was that we were actually tracking the laptop, and the laptop could be removed from a cruiser, and so we had a desire to hardwire the device into the cruiser to provide more efficient tracking of the actual cruiser. The other issue with that approach was that it did not integrate with our proposed fleet management system, so we were looking to develop or work with a vendor that could provide us with that integration. So what that implementation back in May 18 did for us was that it provided us time to seek a more robust solution. We were able to identify a vendor that provided that hardwired device that could be installed in both marked and unmarked cruisers. Keep in mind that most unmarked cruisers do not have a laptop in them. The hardwired device will be able to transmit those critical telematics back to a user interface that can be used to visualize that geospatial information, assist in decision making during both steady state and crisis situations. And that user interface is displayed up behind me on the big board. So I'm happy to announce today the implementation of our phase 2 of our AVL, and the implementation of that solution has allowed us to expand AVL across the Massachusetts State Police fleet. We've gone from approximately 1,000 vehicles with AVL to approximately 2,900. I say approximately because we always have vehicles that are coming in and out of service, so that number is hard to quantify and pin down on any given day. I can share with you that currently we are collecting and storing telematics and historical date and time information for all of those fleet assets, and that we are storing that historical data indefinitely. That effort started on December 19th. That's the date we went go live, and we started collecting that information. In addition to that, we've also promulgated a policy. That policy governs the use of AVL within the department and sets the expectations for our membership, both supervisory and frontline officers. Where we are currently is that we're validating the new system that we have up. We're ensuring that the data that's associated and displayed is correct, so that we have a great deal of confidence in the system. Once we've finished that, we will start establishing user accounts. We've already established user accounts down to the rank of major, so that supervisors now have access to that historical data. And the last step will be to provide training for the end users, the line officers, and then the final step will be to decommission the legacy AVL system. So I believe that this is an important step forward for the department, an important resource for the department, and that it will dovetail nicely with one of my themes, which is accountability overall for the department. I believe that it will provide improved response times in deployment, better identify emerging fleet issues and trends, and then lastly, provide for greater accountability. So I have displayed for your benefit behind me the user interface. This is it here for Geotab in these 4 screens here. So you can see a cruiser moving around. You can see that cruiser 2053. You see it moving around. In this scenario, we have them over at the Framingham District Court. You see another cruiser, 1682. So that cruiser is not moving, it's in the stopped position. So imagine a scenario where a subject has come out of custody or escaped custody at the Framingham District Court. A supervisor, an officer in charge, a dispatcher can quickly look at the screen and identify where the court is, where the assets are in relationship to that, and then begin to direct those assets in a more timely fashion and begin to provide backup. Dan, can you move Cruiser 1682 over to Arsenal and Anzio? So be able to call out a supervisor anywhere at any duty office would be able to make the call out to the cruiser, and then you would start to see in time, you'll see hopefully 1682 will start to move down to, let's say there's a sighting of the individual over at Arsenal and Anzio. So that is the basic intent of the system. The use cases would be for, let's say, missing children, Alzheimer's patients, traffic coordination at large public events, large venues, responding to crashes. Really, the uses for us are endless. Security operations, such as the recent Merrimack Valley gas explosions. You can envision where we would deploy resources and ensure that there are sufficient security assets for the community, that they're equally deployed across the community. So that's essentially how we envision using AVL. Those are some of the benefits that we see with AVL, and I'll be happy to entertain any of the questions that you might have.
Colonel, when it comes to
public about trying